Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more Call of Duty news. I hope you guys all do enjoy another controversial topic out there to talk about all around a player known as Zeke. Before I do get into that though, if you guys are coming from our last story about Call of Duty, it was a very controversial topic about CWL Miami and comments made by amateur players ahead of time about a potential shooting threat. Now I will have an update video on that sometime soon. I can tell you guys all right now the situation has been resolved as a misunderstanding, but all updates as well as one of those players did reach out to us to clarify his position on that. So I do want to say the situation has been resolved and hopefully everything is okay over in that area. But let's talk about Zeke back on this topic, guys, because he is now being alleged of apparently using a substitute in a French qualifier for Miami himself, and the team actually did go on to qualify, and it's a very debatable topic, not being talked about by too many people. Huge shouts to CWL Intel. I will link them down below as they did first call it out, and as of right now, MLG has been notified of the instance and actually did nothing because the evidence presented to itself was not enough to actually take this team away from the spot they did qualify for, even though the player who actually subbed in for the team and played in Zeke's place actually admitted to doing everything they've been accused of doing. And why do I smirk a little bit? Why do I smile a little bit when I hear the name Zeke? Because when we last talked about him, it was actually a while back, the Team Denial story. If you guys do remember all the way back, the Team Denial, thank God they're out of Esports, known for a couple of their owners scamming their players and not paying them, their last owner being even worse than the first owner. And a part of that though was actually Team Overtime. Zeke was a part of that original roster to earn their CWL spot, and then they were actually bought out or signed by that Team Denial roster. But if you guys do remember, around the time of this scam where apparently that owner was not paying these players, it was the entire roster who was changed out besides Zeke. And so the players have ever since, the French roster formally did come out about this, apparently not being paid, but there was mentions about Zeke because he was the only player, although the team was apparently not being paid, to stay on to the new Denial roster as a substitute player. So I'm not saying anything's going on there, but it was a bit suspicious when you have an entire roster not being paid allegedly, but you have one player who still sticks it out with the roster as a sub, and the entire other roster is actually now off somewhere else doing their thing. So back on this though, the topic of all of this going on, we actually had Hydra, apparently the 18-year-old player who played for Zeke during this qualifier, which they did win and qualify for Miami for. Well, it's pretty crazy, guys. He has now come forward in DMs, which thanks to CoD Intel have also been transcribed for all of us, and they do actually have Hydra himself admitting to the fact he played for this team, which of course makes the roster which qualified illegal. And as you can see in the DMs, Hydra admits to several things across the board. The first of which is because he needed the money. That is why he did it. So a bit lack for cash. The team allegedly did offer him money. He fills in for the spot. He gets them the spot, and that's why he gets paid, and that he had apparently no choice in doing so because of his financial whereabouts. Also, he does mention that Zeke had plans because the qualifiers were actually moved to a different time this time around than usual. Now, again, one last time, MLG was actually notified with this evidence of apparently a substitute player admitting to the fact he subbed in for Zeke. He played a different setup as well, ran different weaponry, and that's why the other team did call him out for doing so. And even with this evidence though, a random 18-year-old admitting in DMs to actually filling in for a team, that is not enough evidence to actually take away that spot which they have qualified for with a substitute player. And to be fair, that does make a lot of sense when you think about this. If we had every team out there try and qualify, a team that lost to them actually called them out, and all of a sudden a random other player out there says, hey, I subbed in for them, without any other proof besides different weapon setups and a DM's admitting to it, there's really no other proof and no actual way to prove the fact that Zeke actually had a sub play for him and qualify for the spot for the team themselves. These are allegations. Do they line up? His setup, along with that, of course, Zeke apparently being busy for a couple of months, that's why he could not qualify. Is there a way to prove this is the ultimate question. But with his background and such, I must say these are allegations, but around the Call of Duty scene, allegations don't usually come up unless there's some sort of thinking process behind them. So yes, they are allegations. There is certainly no way to prove whether or not Zeke did or did not play, but it's very odd to see a player out of all the instances out there now come forward, that being Hydra, and admit to actually playing for the team because he needed the money. Is this some elaborate troll? It very well could be, but these are allegations as of right now. Going forward, the controversial moments do continue in Call of Duty approaching Miami sometime very soon. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be back here later today breaking down some other esports news, and until then, take care, drink coffee, have fun.